Ladies and gentlemen, we do thank you very much for your attention, and now we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Welcome to our top travel destinations. I am your host, Kevin Flanagan. I have been editor of the weekly travel news column in the Sunday Independent and the Fine Wine and Food Guide, and I am here to use my decades of experience to help you know exactly where to stay, eat, drink, shop, and explore when visiting the world's top travel destinations. So sit back and enjoy the wonders of travel as we take off on our magical journey together. Welcome to Kevin's Travel Stories and Top Travel Destinations. I'm going to roll both into one to make a special Christmas, New Year's broadcast. I'm doing this because it's a special time of the year. We have the ability to review where we traveled this year, and we have a chance to look forward to where we may travel next year. And we live in a dangerous world, an unpredictable world, and travel is one of the great gifts. So I'll start off by wishing you all great travel memories from this last year gone by. Whatever they are, I'd encourage you to write them down. Just jot down a few things where you've been. I have quite a lot to look back on, and doing the podcast is a great help because you sort of memorize them. And remember, if you write about your travel trips, you live them twice, as one very famous writer said. You live them when you actually do them, and you live them a second time when you write about them or talk about them to a friend. So this has been a year where I've been very, very lucky. I've traveled to Vietnam, Bangkok, Laos. I went to Luang Prabang. I saw the Buddhist morning ritual of giving alms to the monks. I ate the best bowl of soup, bamboo soup, in the Luang Prabang market, evening market. I had such a wonderful time with Diamond, my good friend, Cara, my girlfriend. It was such a wonderful time and really extraordinary. And then I returned and went to Nepal with Diamond in the summer. And that was truly memorable because we really got to see how a city can be literally shaken to its roots through the incredible earthquakes of 2016. 600,000 abodes, houses were rocked to their foundations, literally. And when you come back from somewhere like that, you really take the quality of life that we live in the West, and you really go, we are so lucky. The trip went on. I had a great trip with my grandkids. Antwerp and Ghent were highlights of that little family trip. And as I look forward to 2025, very difficult to believe, I'm heading off tomorrow with Kubert Meyer, Sister Anne, to Venice to check out the art, and then to ski, and then possibly to go off to somewhere as far afield as maybe Mongolia, Japan, who knows? So it is a fantastic time of the year to recollect. What were your highlights? Who were your best travelling companions? What were the sights and the sounds and the feelings, that community that really have leavened your life, have added to your life? I've just spent a Christmas in Dublin, shared with Catherine Clare, my goddaughter and sister's daughter, and her family in Dublin. They're over from Tunbridge Wells, and then dear Anne came from New York. And it really has been sharing with my own family travel, memories, and where we're going to go. And even sitting down this afternoon, talking back to the time I took a group to see the Mariinsky Ballet in St. Petersburg. As you may know, I was once a ballet dancer. And of course, that we don't know when that will happen again, such a trip. But again, this is a chance. So I want you to just take a pause, and I want you to reflect deep inside, and I want you to think of what was the great trip of this year. Name it quietly for yourself. And who were your favoured travelling companions? And take a moment and breathe it in. And what did you get out of such an extraordinary trip? Again, take a moment. Write it down or make a mental note. Writing it down is even better. It actually uses a different part of the brain. And finally, where do you want to go this year, 2025? We're not here forever, as we know. I lost a great friend this year, and I know that time here is limited. So Where do you want to go? Take a moment, take a breath. Let's take all 3 breaths together and just notice where, if you have the means and the health and the opportunity, where would you like to go? And I'd like to finish off this New Year's Eve of 224 going into 225, hard to believe those years, with 2 memories of New Year's Eves away. The first was when I went down with Barbara, my girlfriend at the time and fantastic photographer, and we went to South Africa and we were in Cape Town. This would have been around about 2006. And there was a New Year's Eve and we had a bodyguard because we were regarded as, it was a little bit dangerous, so they said, and we were sort of minor celebrities. And I'll never forget the feeling of just having that celebrity status just for like 24, 48 hours. And how it actually, dear listener, grated on the nerves. It became actually tedious. And I remember somebody tried to come up and talk to us when we were down by the wonderful harbour in Cape Town, where you go, where all the fireworks went off. And it's a very, very plush place, fantastic shopping malls and shops and wine bars, etc., etc. And this guy, an inoffensive guy, maybe a little drunk, came up to try to chat to us. I was rather rough with him. I had to sort of ask him to sort of back off. And I just got a glimpse of what it's like to be famous. Not that great, actually, strangely. Quite difficult to understand that. And another, when I had a friend, we were dating at the time, Zhao Ling, and we met in Hong Kong. And this was before all the troubles happened in Hong Kong. And I can remember spending Christmas Day in Hong Kong. And that night we went up to the Victoria Heights. And the next day, she was Chinese, we took a train to Shenzhen, which is in Hong Kong. You get your train in Hong Kong and you travel to Shenzhen, and this is this extraordinary place in China. You have to get your visa, and it's 10 million people. It wasn't there 30 years ago. It's been created out of nothing. This is sort of a weird vibe. Huge amount of money. My dear friend at the time, she'd organized a goose restaurant, a very famous goose restaurant. We had to take this long taxi ride out, and we were surrounded by Chinese people on New Year's Eve. And we ate meals of goose of different sorts, goose soup, goose main course, and I think there was even a goose dessert. And it was sort of so bizarre and so different. And as we came back, we got the public transport back, and New Year's was dawning in China, and so many thronged with young people, all on their phones, very elaborate phones. We got back and we had one drink, went to the hotel and listened to the Premier Xiaoping say his piece to the gathering. And that was another extraordinary New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. South Africa, China. I think it really, again, it just reorganizes your brain, the actual structures, the wiring of your brain. And again, I'd like to invite you to say, well, if I was going to spend somewhere on New Year's Day, because when we are local in Europe, it's usually the Christmas cheer has pretty much staled out after the 7 days since Christmas. It is very difficult to get it up for more celebration on New Year's Eve. But if you're somewhere like South Africa or China, and this year I'm going to be in St. Mark's Square in Venice with the 2 grandkids, well, how exciting is that? So this year, I have so much loved our year of podcasts together. I have so much loved reliving and trying to bring you some sort of insights into the wonder of travel. And as we end this year, this is my message. Travel will change your life. It will change your outlook. The further afield you can go, the better. While you can, this may be the last golden age of travel. Because of environmental difficulties and wars, travel may not be so affordable or so readily available in the future. So make the most of it and find that wonderful place and start the new year as you intend to continue it, with travel plans that will feed the soul, expand the imagination, and give you the opportunity to do the thing we all want most of all, to love our friends, our nearest and our dearest. So Happy New Year. Lots of love from Kevin and his team of Kieran, Clodagh and Shauna, who helped bring this wonderful podcast to you. We love you. We think you're such wonderful listeners, and we love bringing this twice weekly gift to you. So enjoy 2025, and I will see you on the other side and tell you how Venice and St. Mark's Square and New Year's Eve went.